Video shows some lady bounty hunters roughing up 35-year-old Daniel Duvall, a criminal with a history. Now, it happened inside an Arby's restaurant last month, but Duvall believes they went too far. Can you believe that? He joins us now along with Dan Gillian, who's his attorney. Welcome both to Primetime, and thank you for coming on to tell your story.
Thank you.
Dan, why don't you set up the story so the viewers know exactly what happened?
Well, the big picture is Mr. Duvall, he has a criminal past. He was out on bond.
But what are we talking about? What kind of a criminal past?
It's drugs. You know, if I were to nag about this whole thing, it would be if Mr. Duvall were he liked alcohol and he drank alcohol, he'd be an alcoholic. But because he likes certain drugs, he's a criminal. And that really boils down to he has a drug issue and he's working on it. No violent past, no robberies, no bank robs, no assaults, didn't hurt
hurting
anybody.
people.
No. He's got a drug problem, so he's got a criminal past. Now, he's out on bond on March 18th. He hadn't paid his premium in full, and so his bonds person decided to hire these dirt cheap bounty hunters.
Cheap bounty hunters?
Dirt cheap. They're doing their dirty deeds for really nothing because they like to promote themselves on TV. So they come in and they decide they're going to arrest Mr. Duvall.
And what are these ladies called? The lipstick?
The lipstick bounty hunters. They have their own criminal past. They started out trying to do bail work themselves, and they got in all sorts of trouble with the insurance commissioner. In fact, pled guilty to all sorts of crimes. And so that's their past. They decide they're going to arrest Mr. Duvall. They lie to him, get him to an Arby's up in Huntington Beach where there's a bunch of people around him, public, innocent people, and they march in, and you see it. They basically assault him. He reacts with self-defense, and he can take it from there.
Okay, well, let's talk about how'd they get you to the Arby's, by the way?
They called me up like 2 days prior, but I was out of town on a job, so they called me and said they need a fingerprint, and it was they saying they were the lady belt. They were working for the chick that did the file.
Okay.
So they called me up. They told me they need a fingerprint and a picture for the insurance company. So I said no problem. I'll be back in town on Monday. They said all right, meet at the Arby's at 6. So I showed up and I was there.
And then they roughed you up.
And I was talking to the bail agent that my people did the business with, and she never said nothing to me, just that I need to call the bail bondsman. And she said she was going to give me the number, and then all of a sudden I look up and this chick, runs up, tries to grab me. I've been to the courts twice, and for some reason, they've never had this happen before, where somebody doesn't get busted and then rebail out, that show up at the courthouse and try to put a new bond there, so they're like, not pulling my case up, So I think that they just really don't know what they're doing because this really never happens.
Well,
so did you go to the hospital, the doctor afterwards?
I've been to the hospital. I went to the eye doctor. He says that I'm pretty much blind.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, he's
so
with this morning.
Damage.
Retinal damage. He's got a big ulcer on his cornea, and these things don't tend to heal on their own. I don't know if surgery will fix it or not. But
and the doctor will testify in court and everything.
Oh yeah. Well, there's images of it. We have images of it, but this is not a true professional bounty hunter situation. I mean, bounty hunters are actually needed in our society, and most of them are great, professional, and these women clearly don't have a clue what they're doing, and they shouldn't be in the business.
It's almost like they have to try extra hard to prove themselves because I don't know what the deal is. But what happens next?
Well, we file a lawsuit tomorrow where I'm actually going to try to get a restraining order against them. The bottom line is there's plenty of bounty hunters out there. If this bondsman really wants him under arrest, first of all, if the bondsman really wanted his bond back, he would just have shown up in court with Mr. Duvall twice before and gotten rid of it. What they're trying to do right now is arrest him to save face because they're so humiliated by the video that they created, and also they're just mad at him and they want to exact vengeance on him. But we're going to file a lawsuit tomorrow. We're going to name the bounty hunters themselves. There's 4 of them. The bondsman himself, he's out of Ventura. And then the surety company. I mean, they're the ones with all the money. And this is going to be millions of dollars to compensate Mr. Duvall for the loss of an eye. I mean, you just can't do that. You can't shoot somebody in the eye and think that no one's going to care about them.
They brought out a gun in a public place. I mean, nobody else would know there were rubber bullets in that gun.
Right.
You know, that was scary. That would scare everybody in there. And I'm so sorry that happened to you. I don't know. So
I think the next is, and what there should be a prosecutor looks at this and says this was assault, battery, and it resulted in great bodily injury. These women already have a criminal history.
And they're still on the streets. They're still working.
Bounty hunters. Barely hanging in there is bail people themselves. There's actually 2 sisters and a brother, and they've got all sorts of problems with the insurance commissioner because of past antics. But I keep getting phone calls by other real bounty hunters, and they keep saying these women are an embarrassment to our industry, and we want to help you however we can.
Wow,
no,
that says a lot.
It does say a lot.
So let me ask you, do you have a message, and what's your goal with all this?
I just think, you know, these ladies should be put out of business. I mean, they're dangerous. They're running around with weapons and they're shooting at people in public places. What if a ricochet and hit a kid?
Right.
Hit your baby. You know.
Right, well,
what if there's a pregnant person in there when they sprayed the pepper spray? That's That's like seriously harmful for.
Reckless. It's reckless, and you know, let justice serve.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, in the industry, in legal industry, they call this shooting ducks in a barrel. I mean, these women created Exhibit A for me at trial, so I don't think that their insurance companies are going to fight too hard on this one.
We'd love to have you back on set as the story develops, and good luck to you.
Right, thank you.
Sorry this
Thank you.
happened. Thank you.